Test. Danny Gaffon for Boxing Social and Association Empire Fight Store and Our Kings. Frank Smith behind Eddie Lines against Queensbury again. Fabio Wardley against your man Justis Huni. Late-ish replacement. What gives you the confidence he can upset Frank and get you a much-needed win over the older enemy?
I think Justis Huni is a tremendous fighter. I think Fabio Wardley, though, has proved many people wrong on many occasions. It's a great fight. It's a real fight, and it's a fight that, maybe we wouldn't have seen in the times of past. These are two real proper fighters coming together, taking on the test and putting their O's on the line. We forget Justis Huni was WBO #1 position prior to this fight. He believes in himself. We believe in him. But it's going to be a proper fight, and that's what the sport's all about, seeing the best fight the best.
Spencer Brown mentioned the bookmakers' odds up there. Are you surprised at how big a favourite Fabio is in their eyes, given Justis's amateur pedigree? He's had a good professional career himself. Is any shock in your side at how wide the odds are?
I mean, it's crazy how wide they are, but for a lot of people that support Justis Huni to make a few quid, isn't it? It won't be the first time a bookie put it wrong.
Definitely not, telling me. After Justis's fight with Kevin Lorena, I remember Eddie saying, obviously, a couple of scares in that fight. We're going to pump the brakes for a bit. He had a couple of low-key fights back in Australia. What sort of changed? Because he is in at a tougher level than Kevin Lorena without maybe having any sort of learning fights in between. So would you say it goes against maybe what Eddie was saying in that aftermath, or is the opportunity just too good to turn down?
I think you look at Kevin Lorena when he fought Daniel Dubois, yes, and probably no one really gave him as much credit for that fight because they didn't realise how good Daniel Dubois, and look what Daniel Dubois was going to do. You compare all these fights, they did this, they did this. But the reality is about two men coming together on that night, and the best will win. And you got two brilliant fighters coming together with two different attributes, strength. We all know Fabio Wardley is a massive fighter, but at the same time, I think Justis Huni has got the ability to go in there, and he's better than anyone else Fabio Wardley has ever boxed in reality. So that's what makes it exciting.
Jarrell Miller was originally the man penciled to fight Fabio. Now, there's rumblings of a fight between Anthony Joshua and Jarrell Miller for the back end of summer, maybe September. I saw Marco Villegas of Fight Hub saying that Teo versus Devon should headline over AJ versus Miller, as if that was a fight that was also being talked about. Is there anything you can tell us about negotiations for between Anthony and Jarrell Miller? Obviously, the history's there for everyone to see.
I mean, look, we know the history's there, but AJ is fully focused on getting himself fit, back and ready. He came off that minor surgery. As soon as he can get back in training fully, and then we'll make a plan. This decision of what he does next is the most important decision of his career. Whatever move he makes is going to be very important to the future. So, nothing planned just yet. There's a lot of names. Everyone wants to fight Anthony Joshua, understandably so.
Yeah. Sticking with the heavyweight division, Alexander Usyk, Daniel Dubois, fast forward in the corner. I've seen a lot more people leaning towards Daniel, factoring in Alexander's age. What's your read on that fight?
I think Alexander Usyk is a tremendous fighter. I think Daniel Dubois has shown, though, he's got power in both hands, and it's going to be a great fight. The first time round, Daniel Dubois with a lot less experience did a great job, but Usyk finished him. It's great, undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, and it should be a good fight. It should be a fight where people are saying either guy could win. So I'm buzzing.
Bumped into Callum Smith in Glasgow the other weekend, and he was saying that a fight with David Benavidez is potentially more likely than Anthony Yard. Obviously, Tunde had been on TalkSport and claimed that a fight between Anthony and Callum was close. From your perspective, any conversations? I think Callum mentioned that there were due to be negotiations last week with Benavidez' team and PBC. Any light you can shed on that?
They're ongoing, those discussions. I think Callum's favourite is to fight Benavidez, understandably so. He wants that name on his record. No news just yet. Eddie's speaking to Louis de Cubas about it. I think that's the favourite fight. But the Yard fight's a great fight as well, and that fight can be made, as we see. It's easy for guys to make fights now, so that fight can be made. I think Benavidez is definitely the preference.
One thing I want to get your thoughts on, Frank, obviously Boxer, I've got a show this Saturday, Callum Smith headlining, and that's the only show in their schedule. This Sky deal renewals drawing closer and closer. Just what's your read on that? Is there any rumblings you've heard? Obviously you've had a storied history with Ben Shalom. From the outside looking in, people speculating on social media, maybe it doesn't look the best.
It doesn't look the best. I can only give you my opinion. I can't give you factual knowledge on anything. I'm not surprised that he hasn't signed an extension. I mean, he hasn't really had the best 4 years. Let's be completely open. I can imagine, I can see a world where Sky take shows off of him, here and there where they want them, where it makes sense for them. But I can definitely see them not doing an extension, a multi-year extension exclusively, because why would you? Because they haven't delivered. And that's not me trying to be talk down on him. That's just the reality. So but we'll see. I've been wrong many times. Who knows? That's my view.
Just shed some light, obviously not in the boxer case specifically, but from a promotional standpoint, how vital is a TV deal like that in terms of, what you can offer fighters, a plan moving forward? How much of a detriment can it be if you don't have a deal like that?
Yeah, I mean, why would anyone sign with him without an exclusive Sky deal? Let's be honest. He hasn't really shown over the years he's got business prowess to go and deliver for you. I mean, he's been detrimental to most of his fighters' careers. That's just my opinion. Yeah. And I'd say it to his face. I would say it to his face. Doesn't mean I wouldn't do work with him. I'd do work with anyone, if it made sense to the people we represent. But, if you're a fighter, the only draw for you to sign with them originally was money and Sky. Yeah. And if the money's drying up and Sky isn't there, well, I mean, fortunately, I'm not sure, even for active fighters, when their contracts come up, I'm not sure they'll be looking to re-sign.
With a couple of quick ones, Frank, and I'll let you get on. Literally half an hour ago, Vasily Lomachenko announced his retirement. He's broke matchroom hearts a couple of times against Anthony Claw and Campbell. Yeah, some people a bit surprised, but some career.
Unbelievable career. What, he won a world title in what?
Third fight.
His third fight, yeah. What a career he's had, what a journey he's been on. Respect to him. And look, fair play to him, because I know there's talks about carrying on, and some people have carried on beyond their time, and I think he just said, I've done everything I wanted to in the sport. He's been involved in the biggest nights in the sport, and it gives an opportunity now for the younger, new generation fighters to come through. It's exciting times for Andy Krug, who obviously fights for the IBF final eliminator position on June 14th. He sets himself up for the chance there to then challenge for that by the time, so excited for him. But yeah, all respect to Vasily Lomachenko, what a career he's had.
Another thing I want to ask you about is your mate Dmitry Bivol. It's all gone a bit quiet on the potential trilogy bout with Artur Beterbiev. Obviously, Dmitry vacated the WBC world title, and we were under the impression it was so that fight could get made. Any update there? Fans are dying to see them two back at it.
Yeah, look, that's the fight we're focused on, is the trilogy against Beterbiev. Dimitri's obviously coming off the back of 3 fights in a 9-month period. And that's heavy duty at that, especially those 2 fights against Artur Beterbiev. So it was always the plan for him to take a bit of a rest, take a bit of a break, and then aim to fight to the back part of this year. That's still the focus, and the Beterbiev fight is still the focus as well. Obviously, there is the Canelo fight, should he come through the Crawford fight. The Canelo-Bivol fight is a huge fight to be made as well. I'm sure Canelo will want to avenge that defeat. Bivol's in a great position, and he's never shied away from any challenge. He never will. And excited about what the future holds for him.
Frank, appreciate speaking to the box social. I'll let you go. Thanks very much.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.